Hey sis, welcome to the Lux Well, where we have elevated conversations. But can I be honest? I thought that becoming a business owner was going to be easier than this. This is not to say that I hate the journey, because I don't. I love what I do. I love the people that I get to serve, you being one of them. But also, I know that when I first was introduced to entrepreneurship, there was this idea that you would have more flexibility and more freedom in your schedule, and that you would be able to make more money in your sleep, and all of these dreams that were sold to us. And listen, I still believe that those dreams are true. I believe that those things are actually possible. But also, although I believe that those things are very possible, I do believe that the message is incomplete. I believe that you can have those things, but I also believe that there are some things that we have to do. And the truth is that in order for us to create this life of flexibility and freedom that we want, we have to actually become people who can live with flexibility. Mind blown emoji, right? Literally, when you think about yourself, do you consider yourself to be a woman who is flexible? Meaning that you can roll with the punches of life and still be unmoved. And when I say be unmoved, I'm not talking about being stubborn or being unhealthy about it. What I am saying is, even when life happens, are you still able to be persistent in the thing that you started? And that's a question that I had to ask myself, and I continue to ask myself in this solopreneurship journey, because I've been here a minute. It's been a journey of me building this business and of me becoming a healthy business owner. I made a decision a couple years ago that I didn't just want to be a business owner, an influencer, a coach that just looked well on the outside. I wanted to actually be well and live a life that was well. And although I've been able to do this for myself at this level, it definitely hasn't always looked this way. I remember vividly at my last job, I was a personal trainer at a sports club in Boston. I loved that job. Or let me say this, I loved certain aspects of my job. I always loved the people, but I always knew that even at that job that I would eventually hit a ceiling, because it simply wasn't the type of lifestyle that I wanted to live long term. I knew back then that I wanted to be a good wife to my then new husband. I knew that I wanted to be a very present mom for when that time came. I knew that I wanted more flexibility in my schedule. I wanted to be able to do things whenever I got ready to. And being in the gym for 12 hours sometimes just wasn't cutting it. And I knew that that was something that I was not willing to settle for. On top of that, the job just wasn't healthy for me long term. I found myself reverting back to old habits, and I know you may be like, but Gabby, you were working in a gym. How can you go back to old habits when you're in a place of where you're supposed to be building healthy habits? And that was the thing. I think for me, I was so immersed in helping my clients get better that I stopped progressing myself. And I slowly became this yes woman who didn't have boundaries. And it happened so quickly that I didn't even realize it, but my body did. I was going through bouts of emotional eating. My weight was constantly up and down. And so it was then that I started to think about, I can't keep going in this direction, hoping to get to where I want to go, because this is not it. So guess what? I eventually left that job because of COVID. COVID thrusted me into entrepreneurship, but I was finding that I was having the same issues even in business, because this is the thing about habits. Habits oftentimes don't just hit you in one place. It typically trickles to every other area of your life if you're not careful. So not only was I not able to set healthy boundaries in my W-9 job, I also found myself struggling to set healthy boundaries in relationships, but especially in business. So I think some things to take with you for today is asking yourself a few questions. If I want to have a schedule that's more flexible, am I, number one, open-minded? Or am I stuck in my own ways? Am I good at prioritizing? Am I able to look at a situation and know what to tackle first? And lastly, am I comfortable with uncertainty? I may not have all the answers. I may not have the full, complete vision, but am I willing to continue walking in spite of? Thanks for watching. See you next time.